Hey, what's up? How you doing, fellow Switch bargain hunters? It's James Amera here at SwitchWatch, and I'm back, as always, helping you to uncover the best deals across the EU, UK, and US eShops. Yes, the deals that are on sale worth your hard-earned cash. Let's take a look at the best of this week. Start us off, Jordan. What have you got for us?
Hey everyone, Jordan here with my bargain of the week. I think I've probably chosen this before, but I'm taking the opportunity to remind everyone that you should play the Gunman Clive HD Collection. This is a double pack of action platformers that are so cheap, yet so well made. I really enjoy playing these two, as you'll see in my review, but yeah, in Europe and the UK, it's a shockingly ridiculous 80% off, which is 89 pence and 99 euro cents. Is that what they say? I don't even remember saying that before. I don't know why in the US it's only 60% off and still $2, but you should load up the UK eShop, spend your gold coins, and I promise you, you won't regret it. An absolute bargain.
Thanks very much, James. How you doing, everybody? This week I've chosen The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition on the Nintendo Switch with a massive 50% off. I never thought that this game would come to the Nintendo Switch. I thought it would almost be impossible, but the port is absolutely fantastic. If you want a story spanning over 100 hours of gameplay, then you've got to get The Witcher 3 if you haven't played it. It's a gigantic open world to explore, and it's just a fantastic game overall. I don't really need to say too much about this one. It's got 50% off. Check it out. It's a bargain, and on the Nintendo Switch, it plays great. Visuals brilliant, story's great, brilliant gameplay, audio is very good as well. You just can't go wrong with this one. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next week.
Nice ones there, guys. Speaking of Gunman Clive, from the same makers, Mechstermination Force is a boss rush platformer that hits all the right notes, and it's my pick this week purely on value. There's giant building-sized mechs to take down and Contra-style mechanics and controls. Each of the mechs you battle has weaknesses and patterns to target, and these are the game's levels. There are lots of weapons and upgrades, but even with that, the replayability is a little bit on the light side, and as a result, but with 80 or 83% off in the US, this is a really great pickup and play weekend title that you can enjoy alone, or even better, with a friend. Now, 2 decades and 2 releases later, and Psyvariar Delta has found its way onto the Switch. Fans of the bullet hell genre will be pleased to know that the game can be played in tape mode and that there is no shortage of madness on screen at all times. What makes the game stand out is its RPG-like upgrade system that fits very well. This is an accomplished shooter with upgraded graphics and a nice amount of difficulty as well. WARTILE is a tabletop strategy game brought to life with awesome-looking figurines set in a Norse-inspired world. Set across stunning hexagonal boards, the game uses cooldown mechanics to keep the tactical battles tense. It's all about using your different characters' strengths effectively and planning ahead so as not to get cornered or forced into a weak position. With 6 different characters and lots of items to gain, including battle cards that tweak how you play, there is plenty of replayability here, especially when you factor in the 3 different difficulty levels as well. A very interesting strategy game, this one. Slay the Spire is the perfect game to pick up and play when you fancy a nice solo run or have some downtime to kill. Each run is different yet familiar in this addictive, rogue-like deck-building battler. What's more, there has been content added over time, such as a 4th class and ascension mode, and leaderboards which all add to the replayability of this game, which is why I still pick it up from time to time. What's great is just how varied each run is. Your core characters have their own playstyles, but even amongst them, picking up different cards or landing a different relic will take you down a slightly different path. The balance is great, and that's ultimately an important part of why this is such a great game. This next one is an interesting title, a collection of 18 NES and Famicom titles from the Kunio series, the best known in the West of which is the Double Dragon Trilogy and River City Ransom. But digging a little deeper, and we have a whole host of titles that have been lovingly put together onto the Switch that never got released in the West, including the brilliant Kunio-kun's Neketsu Soccer League. The title's a bit misleading. Out of the 18 titles, only about half are brawlers. The rest are a journey into sports and other quirky titles that you never got your hands on. It's a great package at just $10. To the Moon has a very clever premise. A dying man who has always dreamt of going to the moon, even though he can't recall why, has the opportunity to work with Sigmund Corp, a company that specialises in wish fulfillment using artificial memories. As the doctors for Sigmund Corp, you head back in time to explore the thoughts that led Johnny Wiles, our old man, to his dreams. The gameplay is very simple. There are some basic puzzles, but this is more about a heartfelt tale and experiencing over 4 or so hours of really gripping story. From what I understand, the developer was inspired to make this game because of some real life events, and it shows because this one does catch your heart. Doom Eternal is a fast, brutal and thrilling first-person shooter. It runs exceptionally well on the Switch with no performance problems at all, which is impressive. Everything here is fast-paced and frantic, where running in and shooting demons back to hell is what gets the best results. The Doom franchise has stood the test of time superbly by holding on to its grim and pulse-racing core gameplay that you just can't beat. With 60% off in the UK and EU, this is an awesome bargain. Liberated is an action-adventure game inside a living, hand-drawn noir comic book. As the tale unfolds, you discover an alarmingly current cyberpunk reality where human rights are dying away. It might just make you think a little bit. The gameplay is side-scrolling adventuring with stealth elements and some puzzles thrown in. It's enjoyable, but the performance on the Switch is lacking a bit, which puts a little bit of a downer on an otherwise very solid game. Kairosoft have now made a vast library of simulation games, and one of the most well-known ones is game Destory. In this game, you play as a startup video company in your bedroom with the goal of becoming the #1 developer through the history of video games, from making a basic PC game on your own to moving into a massive office with lots of staff and developing new game consoles, and then finding the right mix of attributes and genres to produce games that are going to lead to critical and commercial success. There's not a whole lot of mechanics that are linked to the actual development of video games here. It's more about stats and numbers, how much you should put into visuals versus audio, for example, hiring the right staff and training them and mixing together themes and genres that will lead to pleasing results for your audience. It's a menu-hopping, passive title that is pretty involved, but for some, very gripping, myself included. I sunk a lot of hours into this one. Underhero is a charming tale. The hero has failed, and as underling of the evil king, you reluctantly take a spot. This is a side-scrolling adventure with RPG elements and a lush pixel art world to explore. The combat is excellent. Everything is about timing your attacks, and the different bosses stand out. If you haven't seen this one, it really is worth taking a look. The Blazblue series of 2D fighters is rightly regarded as a beast. Competitive and intricate fighting gameplay shines here in this port, which has been done really well, and it packs loads of modes, a fully fleshed story, and a healthy roster of characters that is, in my opinion, much better than cross-tag battle. One that I reckon any fighter fan will enjoy. Kingdom 2 Crowns is a unique resource management title with simple controls that port really well onto the Switch, with it being particularly good to play on the move. It plays like a stripped-back 4X strategy game. It's randomly generated, so if you do decide to dip back in for a second time, you'll experience a bit of a different tale. During the game, you'll die a fair amount, so it's questionable whether you will want to play this after the 8 or so hours it takes to complete the first time around. But nevertheless, the developer has done a great job of adding more and more content to this one, which of course is the sequel to the first, and it's an overall great package. And that's it from us today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and taking the time to put a comment down below is something that we appreciate as well. I hope you did enjoy this video. We'll be back again later on this week with more content, so do keep an eye out for that. Until then, have a great week. Take care.